If you're looking for some fun and easy Christmas crafts to DIY for yourself, then you're in the right place. Hi there, my name is Sandra and I'm the creator at the Schwowin's Nest. Thanks for joining me today. I found this cute little wooden crate at a dollar store near my cottage when I was traveling there, and I've already given it a couple of coats of white chalk paint, and now I'm just going to make the handle red. I thought that would be really cute to have the red and white for Christmas. These little white wooden letters I also picked up at the same dollar store, and I'm going to go ahead and paint them black. I'm going to need to give them a couple of coats because this is kind of a slick white paint that's on there already. And I've just stuck them on a piece of painter's tape so they wouldn't move around on me and I could paint all of the little nooks and crannies very easily. I found these beautiful silicone stamps at beebeecraft.com. They have so many wonderful items for you to craft with around the Christmas season and also for year round. I'll have the link to beebeecraft.com in my description box along with a coupon code. I took the stamp off the backing sheet and laid it on the cover sheet. And the reason I'm doing this is because then I have the ability to hang on to the cover sheet and then place my stamp down so I don't get ink all over my fingers and I can place it really easily. I'm just using some dollar store ink here. This is just black and it works really well. I've tried some of the more expensive inks and I do find that the dollar store ink is just as good. So now I can use the mask sheet to place the stamp where I want it to be, and then I can just press on it and get it all transferred over really well. This is an easy way to create some beautiful decor. I know stamps are really popular again. Those of us who are older, and if you've done any scrapbooking, you know that stamps are a big part of that. So if you have any Christmas stamps at home, break them out, get them out onto your Christmas decor. And if you don't have any, I'm sure you'll find something you love on beebeecraft.com. My letters have dried and I've got them just placed onto my little crate how I want them to be. And now I'm going to be using some Aleene's tacky glue and a little paintbrush just to apply the glue. I like Aleene's for small projects like this because it sticks really well, but you also have just a little bit of working time and then you don't get any globs of glue outside your letters. Hot glue would just make a really big mess. So use Aleene's tacky glue. You could even use some wood glue or any other type of glue you have. I also find using a paintbrush really helps to minimize how much glue you get on the letters. I'm going to take a brush with a little bit of paint and dry brush all around the edges to give the crate a distressed and weathered look. Now comes the fun part, embellishing this and adding all sorts of trees and greenery and pine cones and making it look really beautiful and festive. First, I'm taking a pool noodle and I've cut the bottom part of it flat so it'll sit nice and snug against the crate. And I'm adding just a couple of other pieces here to make everything even. I'm going to add some reindeer moss just to the front and the back of the crate. You won't really be able to see anything on the sides, and in the middle, you won't see that either because it's going to be nice and full. But just on the edges, I didn't want you to be able to see any of that neon green pool noodle in there. I'm going to be using two of these little trees that came from the Dollar Tree. I really like them. They have a really unique look to them. They're not just a regular bottle brush tree, but they're a little too tall. So I'm taking the nail clippers from the Dollar Tree, and these are for pets, for dogs and cats, and they work really well at snipping off any round pieces like this. And the wire, it has no problem doing it. So instead of making this a little bit shorter even still, I needed to trim away some of the greenery here, some of these little stems that are sticking out. So I'd have a little bit of wire that I could poke down into the pool noodle. I'm putting some hot glue onto that metal stem, and then I'm going to just poke it right into the pool noodle. I trimmed down the second tree as well, and I'm poking it into the pool noodle, but I'm having a little difficulty with this one. So I like to use these little scoring tools from the Dollar Tree just to poke a little bit of a hole first, and then it will get in there really easily. Now I'm going to add some more greenery, just hot gluing it and poking it into the pool noodle. I'll add some pine cones with hot glue. And finally, I'm going to be adding some berries. And I think this turned out super cute. So let me tell you a little bit more about Beebeecraft. Beebeecraft is brilliant choices for crafting. They have so many different things on their site. You are sure to find something from jewelry beads and findings, tools and supplies, string materials, and their crafts. This is where I go to find all of the things that I can't find on Amazon or at dollar stores. When you go to their crafts, you can look at all sorts of different options. They have wood cutouts, they have beads, they have yarn and string and macrame cord and ribbon and leather, glass bottles, you name it, you will be able to find it on Beebeecraft. I love using stencils and stamps because that makes my crafting super easy. So all I do is type in silicone stamp in the search field and I get pages and pages full of beautiful silicone stamp sheets. Now these are small stamp sheets. They're probably a 6 by 6 sheet and they're tiny, but they have pack so much detail into these stamps that it's just absolutely beautiful. You can layer them and you can add more than just the one I did on my little project here. This is the one that I purchased, and right now it's on sale for 30% off. So if you want to take a look at this one, make sure you head down to my description box, click on the Beebee Craft link, and check out their supplies. Next, I'm going to be using these little stencils. They came in a pack of 12 and they're about 4 inches by 4 inches. This one I thought was so cute. It has a branch with some stockings and ornaments and snowflakes. I'm just masking off the little bird at the top because I decided I didn't want him, and plus my little piece of wood here wasn't big enough for the bird. So I'm going to just tape it down with some painter's tape and then use one of the Dollar Tree's makeup sponges and apply a couple of layers of white paint. Make sure when you're stenciling to go light with your paint. I went a little heavy-handed to start with this one, so I got a little bit of bleeding, but it still looks awfully cute. This 2 by 4 block that I painted red is a little smaller than the stencil, so I'm going to have to decide what part of the stencil I want on there. And I'm only going to mask off the bell and the holly. Everything else I'm going to leave on. Look at how cute this reindeer stencil is. I think it's absolutely adorable. I'm going to have to turn it this way, and some of his antlers aren't going to make it onto this 2 by 4, which has, I think it's about 6 inches tall, but it's still going to turn out absolutely gorgeous. To make these little stenciled signs even cuter, I'm going to be adding some Dollar Tree ribbon, some greenery and berries, and some pine cones, and they turn out absolutely adorable, fun, easy, and so cute. I'd like to say a quick thank you to all of my current and new subscribers. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and watching my content. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you like what you see so far, I'd love it if you could hit that red button too. I just love picking up rolling pins from the thrift store or yard sales or garage sales, and I don't paint them if they are hand carved and if they're really, really old. But these weren't really old, so I decided to create some Christmas decor out of these. I'm going to be painting the handles red on this large one, and now the smaller one that's laying on my table, I'm just going to use a nice shade of green. These are some mesh stencils that I picked up at Beebee Craft as well. You get 2 sets of these, and they're the same, but you get 2 sheets because these mesh stencils, they don't last as long as a regular stencil, but you still get at least 5 to 10 uses out of them. So if you take care of them and clean them and keep them nice and dry, you'll definitely be able to get use out of them. What I love about them is that they're really easy to put on rounded items because they have a sticky backing. So you can see here that I am just making sure that it's all stuck down really well. And then I'm just going to take my makeup sponge and my colors and just kind of rub in the paint until it goes through the mesh. And you can kind of see that process. It's hard to see on camera, but if you try some of these mesh stencils, you just have to give a little bit of elbow grease, push that paint down, make sure it goes all the way through the mesh. And once you're done, when you peel it off, you have this beautiful design that took you only a few seconds to create. I had never used mesh stencils before this, and I've got to tell you, I am hooked. I really love how these turned out. They're so easy to use. You don't get any bleeding, and they just are beautiful. I'm definitely going to be hitting up beebeecraft.com to find some more. For the larger rolling pin, I figured there's probably room for a couple of stencils on this one. So I'm going to use the Merry Christmas and I'm going to use black for that. And then I'm going to use one of the Christmas trees and just set it on an angle on the one side and use green and a little bit of red on that one. And I have to say, this one is my favorite. It turned out absolutely gorgeous. This is some board decor that I got from my local dollar store. It's about a ½ inch thick or so, and I decided to just paint it solid black. I had done a design on this already last year, so I'm repurposing it into a new sign. I'm just going to be taking my ruler here and then marking a halfway point this way and then a halfway point horizontally. I'm going to be masking off the areas that I want to paint first, and I'm just going to be going by the lines that I put on. So I'm going to just go across here and then I'll just do one at the very top and I'll work with 1/4 and then work my way all the way around. I'm going to do one in red, one in white, and one in Christmas green. Once the red was dry, I removed the tape and moved it over to the red side and then added the green on the top. I've started using an old blow dryer to dry the paint in between coats. It's really helped me to speed up my crafting, but let me know if you think I should invest in a heat gun for this, if that's better than a blow dryer. Let me know what you think. So this is my idea. I'm going to be using some more of those 4x4 stencils that came in a pack of 12 from Beebee Craft. And they're so adorable. Look at how cute this little Merry Christmas reindeer is. I'm going to use my painter's tape, tape them all down, and then paint all of them white, except for the white one, which I will paint red. I'm going to add a whole bunch of stuff to the handle of this and make it look really nice and full. I'm starting off with some black and white buffalo check ribbon for a bow, and I'm going to add a red and black buffalo check ribbon as well, a whole bunch of greenery, different kinds because that makes it look more high end. So I usually try to add 2 or 3 different kinds. For this one, I'm going to use that large evergreen that you see there. I'm going to be using some boxwood and then some holly leaves. I think this sign will look beautiful on a front door welcoming all your guests into a fun and festive home. I hope you enjoyed these fun and easy stencil projects. Make sure you go down to my description box and click on the link to Beebee Craft to see what you can find to help you craft for the Christmas season. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. That really gets me noticed more on YouTube and helps my channel grow. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. See you in the next one.